Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. I am Sir Felix the Cat. We are on podcast number 19, Forgotten Franchises. With me, as always, we have Hawk. How is your day going?
Not bad. How about yours?
Oh, great. Just after those technical difficulties. That was dumb.
It happens, even to the pros.
Like it was weird. Like I jumped on and it said, we lost connection of your microphone. I'm like, why? Like my computer says it's fine, but yeah, whatever. Whatever. Okay.
Well, hopefully someone can hear us.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so let me go to news because I have a couple things to cover. One, I didn't fully search, so I'll have to do that on the fly. But an expensive game. So this is a Japan exclusive version of the new Monster Hunter that's coming out. It is going to cost $1,260 for the collector's edition, the Ultra Collector's Edition, because it actually comes with a bike.
Like a bicycle bike?
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, they don't have the picture of it. See more. There it is.
What?
Yep. Comes with an actual bike.
Why, though?
Because, yeah.
Because Japan?
Yep.
I mean, hey, if you love Monster Hunter that much and you've got the money for it, then who am I to say don't buy it? But I think it's kind of a waste. It doesn't really look like a good bike. I mean, I don't know what kind of bike that is, but it looks uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed I went to Walmart and was looking at bikes the other day, and a lot of them look like that. And it's like, why? That you have to lean way over.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Is that some new style those kids are using?
Oh, who knows?
Those damn kids.
They don't know how to ride bikes.
No, they don't know how to read or write or ride bikes or talk or.
Yeah, I figured that was kind of interesting. It's very expensive, only in Japan. So if you want it, go ahead and fly to Japan.
Yeah, or get it shipped over here for double the price.
Yeah.
I wonder what the most expensive collector's edition of a game has ever been.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is up there.
Probably.
I wish they would name it. That would have been nice. Oh, who cares? All right, moving on. So we're looking at cars now. So Range Rover's a car. I thought this was kind of interesting. So a U.S. trademark office cancels Marvel and DC's superhero trademark because they had basically the word trademarked. Okay. So let's say me and you decided to go create a new hero. We couldn't technically call them a superhero.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So there is this show called Super Babies. And the U.S. Trademark Office Tribunal has canceled a set of superhero trademarks jointly owned by comic giants Marvel and DC and at the request of a London-based comic book artist, according to order on Thursday. So now it's actually open for people to do it. They did it, and they say in their reasoning, it's here we go. It's not just a win for our client, but a victory for creativity and innovation, which I am completely behind. Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that, we get into some really, really crappy, bad waters when we start trademarking conceptual words, words that convey a concept or an idea, like a superhero. It's just, this may segue into something. I don't know if you have anything on it, but I have something that this kind of can go into later. But yeah, it's murky waters, and when stuff gets murky with companies, it makes it really hard for smaller people to actually make something new.
Yeah, I'm loving this whole thing glitching out right here, and it's AI. That's amazing.
Cutting edge.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a nice slap in the face to Disney and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, which I'm always there for.
Yep. Maybe put in their place. And I keep looking at this guy right here, and he looks a little bit like Robert Downey Jr.
It kind of does, yeah. I got the facial hair.
All right. So here's the one that I didn't fully research. I forgot to pull up the guy. But so there is a new director for the Blade movie because the other guy dropped out. a while back. So now we have James Samuel as the new director for the movie, which I understand the other guy dropping out. This movie was kind of pushed back for quite a bit. Really had no opening to be slotted in yet.
Yeah.
But this is a movie I definitely want to see. I'm hoping it's good because I love the old ones.
Oh, I love the old ones. Yeah. And 3 was kind of bad, I think. But like, well, okay. So 3 wasn't terrible, but it was the worst of the 3 movies. But yeah,
they went too far into comedy. I mean, they had Ryan Reynolds in it.
Yeah. It's like, have you seen the Deadpool and Wolverine movie yet?
No, I keep forgetting about it.
Okay, because there's a reference, I think there's a reference made in that movie about Blade 3. I haven't watched it, but I've spoiled everything for myself. But yeah, it's a funny thing. But I think there were some bad choices with 3, and I have no hope for any new movies really at all. So hopefully this is a good thing. I'm looking up this James Samuel director guy, and I can't find anything else he's done.
Let me see. You spell his name? Yes.
Maybe I'm just stupid.
Oh yeah, so he's a songwriter.
Oh.
Yeah, he's let's see if I can share another screen really quick. Share screen. Window.
The Harder They Fall, I guess he worked on that.
There we go. So yeah, he did music producing as well. So he did Jay-Z's Legacy, but yeah, They Die by Dawn, The Harder They Fall, and The Book of Clarence, which I've heard of that one. I don't know why I've heard of that one though.
I've never heard of any of these, but so it looks like he's into Westerns. I mean, that's 2 Westerns right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's got like a gritty style, that would really work for a Blade movie. So I'll check some of these out, I think, because I want to see more of how he does stuff. It's nice that it's not some old head, established, like ancient vampire doing it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull up my news again. Back to news. All right, moving on. So there was big news in video games recently, and it comes down to Gavin Newsom in California. So a new California law means digital stores can't imply you're buying a game when you're merely just kind of renting the license.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, they're either going to have to like change where it says purchase to say something else, or they're just have to have like a huge disclaimer all around it and probably like a yes or no checkbox type thing that you understand you are not buying a game.
That is an awesome law, and I wish it would go everywhere, but it never will.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And of course it has to do with The Crew, since that happened, and that was a big thing.
Yep.
And then we have Concord, which straight up just ripped out of someone's digital library, which I mean makes sense. The game's dead.
What, they just like, you can't even get into it anymore? It's just
no.
gone?
If you owned it digitally, it's gone. You don't even have the tile for it.
Do you get refunded?
They did for Concord. They didn't for The Crew though. I don't think.
No, they did not for The Crew. I know that, which is like, whoa. I mean, I know it's in the user agreements for most of these games, but nobody reads that. So this has been an issue going on since like the big digital push, I'd say like 10 years ago. That's when it really started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this is a huge problem. When you buy a game, you don't own it like 90% of the time now. You just own the rights to play it, which means your money can just be sucked up and the game can be taken away from you at any point.
Yeah. Yep. It's just gotten worse and worse. Like PT. PT was pulled, but luckily if you had it downloaded and just never deleted it, you can still play it, which is that's whatever. But it's a sad that if you delete it from your system and want to like re-download it later, you can't. You're out of luck.
Yeah. Especially when games today are like anywhere from 60 to 150 gigs,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how big games have gotten file size wise.
Yeah, especially with games like Call of Duty, Cyberpunk. Those things are massive.
Dude, Call of Duty, the first remake of the Modern Warfare, like one, that I think it was literally like 180 gigs. It blew my mind when I first saw that.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
I'm pretty sure it was big. I know it takes a while for it to install on PS4. I'm just assuming it's big because of that.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is at least on PC 84.47 gigs, and I don't know if that includes the DLC. I do have the DLC, but I don't know if that is incorporated into that. So at least, let's say 85 gigs.
Yeah. And then you have like Overwatch, at least the first one. I remember back in the day when that was still like the game, it was 100 gig updates.
Yeah.
Which was just absolutely insane. It's like I'm looking at that and it's like, okay, well, I'm not playing this for like the next hour or so.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
But one little bit of good news is involved with this too, which is you have this company called GOG.
Yeah.
And they're basically saying like, hey, you know, when you buy something from us, you know what you do? You own it.
Yep. That's one of the many reasons why I love GOG. They don't have everything. They're starting to get almost everything though. Like they're keeping up with like new games and stuff. But they everything you own, everything you buy with them, you do own it. It is a copy effectively of the game. And you could even with most of their games download like backups and just copies effectively of the game. I mean, I could take a GOG game and download it, put it on my own disc, and have a disc version of the game if I really want to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very awesome that they exist. Kind of like it's awesome that Epic exists because you can actually get free games. We were talking about this the other day, and it's still on my mind because it makes me mad every time I hear it. Oh, hey, you know, PlayStation Plus's new free games. Tell me what's free about that. Did you pay something? Because I'm pretty sure you're paying a subscription fee, so therefore it's not free. I'm not getting free movies off Netflix. I'm paying monthly to be able to see these movies. Once I stop paying, you know what happens? They're gone. Like I don't use my PS4 because I stopped paying for PlayStation Plus. I have a bunch of games that I got for free and I can't play them. So there was nothing free about that. Yeah,
and that's where Epic, I think, is the only one doing that at this point, where they every like week, I think, or every like twice a month, something like that, they just hand out a free game. And a lot of the times the free games kind of suck, but there's like times where the free games are legitimate, like big, good games.
The first few Fallout games the other week.
Yeah,
that was epic, especially since I was just talking about them.
Yeah. I mean, I have a ton of games on Epic, and almost all of them have been free over the last, however many years. And then around Christmas time, I was saying to you too, they do like I think it's a daily, like 12 days of Christmas kind of thing, where they give away pretty substantial games every day, if not almost every day. It's awesome. Yeah. I everyone is like, oh, Epic sucks. Now, Epic is the only one doing something cool like that. So
yeah, it's awesome for them. Like it's surprising that they're still making money doing that. It's very intriguing.
I got Ghostwire Tokyo for free on that.
Yeah, didn't we get that Marvel game?
I think so. I mean, I got all the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
I got Control. I got Godfall for free. I got Europa Universalis 4. I got Pine, like some indie games, Windbound, Rage 2 I got for free.
Yeah, it's quite epic.
Yeah, but it is epic.
Speaking of older games, so I don't know if you've ever heard of this game, Silver Ghost. I also don't know if you've ever heard of Shining Force. I've talked about it, I think, to you once. Shining Force is kind of like Fire Emblem. Like the older Fire Emblems.
Yeah, I know the name is familiar because I know you've mentioned it, but
yeah, so this is what inspired Shining Force. It's I am so looking forward to this. I've heard of it. I've never had a chance to actually play it, but it's one of those games that's like been on my list. Like if it ever comes to something modern, I'm buying it like day one.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week on the 3rd, I'm going to be buying this game because I am super excited for that. yeah, this is what it looks like. Like you have your little troops, and you're basically gonna move them around to defend, and you do like one-on-one combat when you get there.
Man, that is dated.
Yeah, super dated.
It looks cool though. Probably it looks like it could have been really innovative for its time.
Yeah. Yep.
It's worth picking up. It's probably cheap as hell too.
Yeah, it's here we go. It will cost $6.49.
Yeah, like $6-7. Yeah.
Yeah, which give me 1 second. Let me talk about something else really quick too. I just bought a game today. Let's go home. Bloomtown, A Different Story. I'm going to pull this up really quick. A little side talk.
I saw that on Steam, actually.
So I was looking at the pictures of it, which is what got me to want to buy this game.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap too, but it has like that old school RPG vibe. Earthbound, if you've ever heard of that one.
Yeah.
Or the Mother series, as it's called. It kind of reminds me of that mixed with what is that game? Not Valkyria Chronicles. Valkyrie Profile.
Okay.
Because like at least the format that they're standing in. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and it deals with like some more mature themes in the dialogue, which I was kind of surprised about. I haven't played much. I haven't even gotten to a battle yet. I got to the first, like the town you go to where everything takes place, and talk to your grandpa because you're going away. Your mom sent you away for the weekend to go stay with your grandpa for the summer. And that's because your mom and dad are getting a divorce and your dad left. So yeah, it's you guys, you and your brother, which this is your character. This is your brother. You're dealing with the fact that your dad's now gone and that you're having to kind of adjust to it and be sad. Like it just happened. So you're having to deal with being sad about this situation while being in a place you've never been to with a grandpa that you've never met.
Yeah, it sounds promising. I actually, I found it independently on Steam and added it to my wish list. It's not something that I would normally play, I think, but it looks interesting enough to be like worth checking out, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's probably not going to be worth checking out.
What?
So the day before, devs returned with Fantastic 2.0 and a new Kickstarter campaign because, you know, they're great. So this was discovered by asset flipper like diggers. They were finding new asset flip things, and they came right up. So yeah, they're going to be coming out with a brand new game. So everybody get your wallets out to be disappointed, because
dude, who's gonna give them money at this point?
I don't know. They're looking for a lot of money. Goodness. If you back their campaign with a $12,000 donation, you'll get an unforgettable dinner with the founders of Fantastic.
No, thanks. No, thanks.
If anybody's not familiar with their last game, the day before, it was one that they put out like this fake trailer for. You can kind of see it here. And it looks like just this. Looks amazing. People, well, I don't know why it's getting all fuzzy. That's pretty much what it looks like in real life. It's very disappointing. It's a complete scam, just asset flip nonsense. They shouldn't have ever done it, and they promised the world. Like it was supposed to be this huge, super big game of the like millennium type quality. And yep, it's like what most people thought, and it's just trash.
Yeah, and what we saw leading up to the release of this game was a bunch of vertical slices. So they were really good at making like a 5 to 10 minute section of the game that looked awesome. Like it looked awesome. It's an open world multiplayer zombie survival, like scavenging game. You know what I mean? Everything about this game seemed so cool. And it had a bunch of stuff, or they promised a bunch of stuff that everybody has wanted in a game like this. Like imagine DayZ, but better. It's like, it looked really good, but then when it came out, it was nothing that they said it would be. And it was buggy and broken and you couldn't get online. And I didn't buy it because I knew from the start that I had a feeling, because I'm a pessimist. I had a feeling that it would be this. And it came out and I was right. And all the other people who doubted it were right. And now we're here.
Yep. You know where else we are?
Where?
We're still in the world of laying off, video game workers.
Dude.
Yep. And of course, it has to be one of our favorites, Activision Blizzard, laying off another 400 workers in Irvine. Well, that's
Are they
the whole
officially?
story.
Oh yeah, I mean that's all it really
didn't
needs to
load.
be.
Yeah.
Are they officially under Microsoft now too?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yep. So yeah, it's kind of funny that they're putting it under Activision Blizzard when really this falls back on Microsoft.
Yeah, it's Microsoft.
Yep.
God, dude. Well, now here's the question. Are they a part of Microsoft or are they a part of Xbox? Because they are two separate entities.
Well, they're Microsoft Games is what they're calling all the game studios.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah, they made that change after some sort of backlash. It was around the time that this whole court case was going on with Activision Blizzard and
oh yeah. Yeah, when basically everyone was talking about how Xbox is dead. And then they came out and they were like, yeah, we're no longer Xbox. We're Microsoft Games.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fantastic stuff.
Microsoft can go to hell. Every time they lay off massive amounts of people like this, it's just, I mean, anytime any company does it, it's terrible. And they all do it because they want more money for themselves. I mean, like production across the board for everybody is at an all-time high. And AAA video game companies can't seem to understand that like people don't want games where you could see the pores on people's faces. We don't want games that are like 300 miles, squared for their maps. We don't want games that have unending, boring stories that have a bunch of stuff that you could do for the rest of time if you really wanted to. We don't want that. And making that is just crippling the gaming industry, at least from the AAA perspective. Because it takes like 12 plus years to make a game at this point for them. So it's like, just scale it back. Don't fire these people. Make smaller games, more of them, and you'll be rolling in money.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And people look forward to them too. Like, look at Astrobot. It's not a long game. It's a short game. It's more of just like a shout out to Sony. And people who have played it love it. It's sold more, I think it's more digital than physical, or it could be backwards. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. You have the new Zelda. It's a Zelda game, but it's not like Breath of the Wild status. It's a top-down game, and people are loving it. Yep.
Well, most of the biggest games of this year and last year, and I think even a couple of years before, have been indie games.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
It's just sad.
Yep, it's a shame. But so yeah, let's talk about our actual topic, forgotten franchises, because there's a good number of them. A ton of them. I have just a few of them on the little background behind us, like Parasite's Eve, Land Before Time, Siphon Filter, Wild Arms, which that one still hurts me that they're not making any new games. Grandia, again, hurts me that they're not making new games.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a ton. There's a bunch of movies, cartoons. I don't know too much about comics that are discontinued because I know they're always doing small ones on the side. But
yeah,
we have a lot that's just gone, lost forever.
Yeah.
It's a very sad thing. And like, I had to throw in Land Before Time because God, that series made so many movies. I think the first one was the only one that was really big. The second one might've been, but then they made like 8 movies total, and all of them were like direct to VHS after that. But it's still like they would play them on I think it was Disney. I could be wrong there, but they used to play them on one of the cartoon channels, and I would watch them when they came up because like I'm not going to go buy the VHS, but I'll at least see what's happening with Littlefoot and like everybody else.
Yeah,
Littlefoot, Petrie, Sarah, whatever the green dude's name was.
Yeah, I remember having them on a lot when I was a kid, but I never got too invested in them. Aside from the first one, I really liked the first one, but yeah, that's kind of where I stopped, I think.
Yeah, then you also have American Tell, Feifel, his movies. They made Feifel Goes West, and then they made an American Tell, something about New York. I can't remember exactly what it was.
I don't know if I'm familiar with those.
They were dope. Did you ever watch The Rescuers?
It doesn't ring a bell. No, let me see.
Okay. It was along the lines of that one too. They're basically Feifel's this little mouse dude, and Feifel Goes West is probably the better of the two. I love that one. They have Wyatt Earp and all that stuff in it.
Okay.
Like they basically tried to. It was historical fiction for kids.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. So the New York one, I believe, is people coming over from overseas and like actually moving into like a New York after it started to be built up.
Yeah.
So like that Leonardo DiCaprio Gangs of New York, like that.
Yeah. Period. Okay, so like that was the 1860s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's an awesome time period. Everyone knows about the Civil War, but I think everything else about that time should be like looked into for shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one that I am kind of upset about because it was a big thing when I was a kid. It's also like I think it's Disney. It's in that vein. Was the Beethoven movies? Are you familiar with them?
Oh yeah.
The Beethoven movies, man. I watched the hell out of them when I was a kid, like to the point where I could have like recited every line in all of the movies when I was younger. I don't remember most of it now, but I loved those movies. And I think it'd be cool to have a newer Beethoven movie, but it would not be done well, and I would probably hate it. So.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're probably planning it. They're planning I heard talks, it could just be nonsense. They were talking about the Honey, We Shrunk the Kids coming back at some point.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Needs to stay dead.
Yep. Just don't.
Yeah, you could bring back the actor guy who was the dad. I can't remember his name right now, but he was in Ghostbusters as well. The old ones.
I forget his name. Yeah. Well, that's another
He
one.
was awesome.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
No, I can't say Ghostbusters. They just came out with a newer movie.
Yeah, it's a new spinoff, which is pretty interesting. I like how I do and don't like how what's his name? I think it was Egon, the nerdy one.
Yeah.
He how he's dead, like the actor died, so they're actually just using like CGI of him.
Is he a ghost?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's a nice way to keep him in there.
I would also put the Hitman franchise on this because I know they have like the Hitman 3, the last game that came out. They've kind of made that into a kind of live service type of thing. But I think it's been too long since we've seen a Hitman, the likes of which we saw in the early 2000s. The newer Hitman games are pretty good, but it doesn't seem to have the pull that it used to have today. So I think it's if not forgotten, then going to be forgotten pretty soon.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, what's the studio behind that? Aren't
IO.
they? Yeah, IO. They're amazing. The work they do is just absolutely amazing. I hope they don't continue with the live service feel and like actually move forward. The one thing I do like that they did, because I started getting really following their stuff when they were on Stadia, is the basically like state share. So say you're in the middle of some quest or like one of the missions and you're kind of stuck, you can share the state with somebody else and they could pick up from where you were just standing at and do the mission their way.
Okay.
Which it's pretty cool. It was a nice way for like, especially for creators, they could like get somewhere on a game and be like, hey, I'm going to give this out to a fan to see how would they tackle this.
That's pretty dope. Yeah. I like that idea. Yeah, and they also made a game that I made a video about not too long ago, Freedom Fighters, which I would say, I don't know if you'd consider that a franchise because it has one game. But
it was going to be a franchise. They were working on a second one.
Yep, they were working on a second one, and then it just stopped and was canceled. So it has not been brought up since. So
yeah.
I mean, apparently there's a big enough fan base for it because that video did really well on a totally obscure backwater channel. So I mean, there's people want it. People want a new Freedom Fighters, myself included.
Yeah, you know what game I want back is Red Faction.
Oh, dude.
Imagine Red Faction with today's like capabilities of the breakdown of everything.
Oh my god,
Construction,
dude.
the physics, that would be so good. So good.
I hate pre-ordering. I'd probably pre-order that game.
Yeah.
I'd probably pre-order that game. I mean, like sometimes I pre-order things that I know I'm going to like. Like I pre-ordered Helldivers 2 and I love it.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. So that I would pre-order.
Yeah, that I would I want to see the Mars Warlog series come back, the 2-game series they have.
That's from Spiders.
Yeah. I hope they continue going on because don't they have issues going on? They're the ones who did the Greedfall, right?
Yeah. Yep, they have Greedfall 2 out.
Yeah, they're having all the internal issues that we talked about last week.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of like sexual misconduct and treating workers badly and all that. So let's hope everybody walks out and they do good with Greedfall 2, because the initial reaction to Greedfall 2 is that like a lot of people who like the combat in Greedfall 1 do not like that they went with a more Dragon Age Origins approach in Greedfall 2. I personally love that because I think the combat in Greedfall 1 was clunky as hell and kind of like unmanageable in a lot of ways. I like the game. It's just the combat was very far from the best thing about it.
It was fun when you were doing magic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
you
best.
You stand in one spot, just keep just blasting. Someone gets too close, bust out your like shotgun or whatever, and just blow them away. You're good to go.
Oh man, I had another franchise that I was thinking about, but I just forgot it. Hold on. What do you have?
What, for like games?
Well, for anything really.
I mean, so I'm kind of mixed on some. I wanted to bring up movies too. That's why I put like Land Before Time and that in there. There's there's movies I want to see come back, and I wouldn't mind if they just completely changed the cast, because I don't need to see the same characters. Like Die Hard. I understand Bruce Willis, one, he's too old to do it anymore, and he's got the health issues.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they like didn't try to make someone else be John McClane, but I would like to see like a new story set in that world, like someone who's maybe been associated with him at some point, or like idolizes him and goes on a similar type of journey, kind of like they do with James Bond. Like it doesn't have to be the same person, but bring it back somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Die Hard premise is cool. I mean, I love the first 3 Die Hard movies. So it'd be awesome to see that formula come back in the right hands, I should say, and with the right actors and actresses.
Yeah, as long as it's not a TV show, because they tried that with what's the Mel Gibson one?
Oh.
Him and Danny Glover. I'm too old for this.
Oh hell, what is that? Or no, that was Die Hard with I'm too old for this.
No, Die Hard's Bruce Willis.
Well, yeah, but that's where that line's from, I think.
Hold on. Danny Glover. Lethal Weapon.
Oh, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, okay, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, I just thought of it as you said it.
they did the Lethal Weapon TV show, and there were issues behind the scenes because the 2 main actors didn't get along. But the first season of the show was interesting. I'll give them that. I did enjoy watching that first season. I don't want them to bring back Die Hard as a TV show, because that's trash. Make original TV shows. Keep movies. I don't really need them to combine unless you're doing like a spin-off thing, like Mandalorian. That's a good example, because that's not the movies. That's a spin-off with a different character.
Well, there's not enough meat in like story meat for a Die Hard show. Like if you make a show out of Die Hard, it's not going to be Die Hard. Like you watch Die Hard because there's a cop, he's a cop. He's either a current cop or former cop. Okay. Mm-hmm. Bad guys take a place over, cop kills all the bad guys. Like that's Die Hard. If it's anything more than that, it's not Die Hard.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'd like to see that come back. I mean, I would like a new Lethal Weapon movie. That would be interesting. And again, just change the cast. It doesn't have to be the same 2. They don't have to be the same characters, but they were cops that were known for something. And you know what's crazy about this is they lived in a city where their were more cops.
Yeah.
You could do something. It's like I know it's a controversial movie. Like some people hate it, some people love it. I believe you like it too. But RoboCop,
Yep.
they brought it back, and you know what happened? I loved it. It was different. It wasn't quite the same, but it was still a good movie overall.
Yeah, I liked a lot about the new RoboCop. I'm not going to call it like a remake. It was just kind of a new thing. Um, I like the new RoboCop, but there's also a lot about it that I don't like. It was a little too kind of soulless in a way. Like it didn't have that character that you see in the first two RoboCop movies, I think.
Yeah.
It was missing something. It was too corporate, I guess.
Yeah,
By
it
the
wasn't. It
numbers.
wasn't hitting the satire that RoboCop is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more like propaganda than satire or commentary.
Yep.
Which to me just shows kind of a misunderstanding of RoboCop, which I don't know if you've seen this, but it's shocking how many people misunderstand the point of RoboCop.
Yep.
I think the director, wasn't it Verhoeven?
I believe so. Sounds right.
Wasn't it him? I'm going to be crucified if that's not it. But whoever the director guy was behind it, I forget his name. Big guy. Made a bunch of movies.
It was Verhoeven.
Yeah, Verhoeven. Everything Verhoeven does is amazing. But I think in some interview he said that like he called RoboCop American Jesus with guns, and like that's the character he wanted to make. And I think a lot of people who watched that movie took that like literally. Like they see him as American Jesus with guns, when in reality it's like he is the culmination or the product of all of the problems with this country.
Yep.
But so yeah, the new RoboCop movie missed that, but I would like to see another one that gets that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome. And I don't mind if they keep the same actor. Just get him into it.
Yeah. Yeah. The for games, I was thinking about two of them actually. The Fear franchise. Fear has spawned a bunch of newer games that are definitely inspired by it. Like there's a game called Trepang 2.
Yeah.
There is no 1. They just called it 2 because they're that bold. But that is basically the new Fear. But I am sad that they've kind of forgotten Fear as a franchise because it had a lot of potential as a horror action shooter.
Yep. Yeah, I want Square Enix especially, because they like to start these franchises, like these games, and then just kind of drop them. Yeah. And I mean, they're still working on Star Ocean and Dragon Quest, which those make me happy. There's Final Fantasy, which in my mind, they forgot about it. They forgot about it years ago and started making something new under the same name.
Yep.
13 was the downfall of them. 12 was the last like Final Fantasy game that I can call a Final Fantasy game.
Well, if we're doing
15
that,
was okay.
Yeah. Halo is the same way.
Yeah. Once, what was it? 4?
343 or yeah. Okay. I'm going to do this quick. Halo 4 was good. It was good. It was made by 343, but after Bungie passed the torch. Halo 4 was good. Not great, not nearly as good as anything else that Bungie did, but it was all right. Halo 5 is where they really dropped the ball. And then Halo Infinite just continued to drop the ball.
Yeah. Well, they dropped it with 5 and then threw it down the hill, like off the edge of the cliff with Infinite.
Yeah, they kicked it further away.
Yep. Yeah, that's why it's crazy. If Halo as a franchise does move over to multi-console, that'll be insane.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the proof, even for the people who are like the most diehard plastic box lovers. Okay, like anybody who defends their plastic box in the console war, no matter what side you're on, if you're like the most ardent defender of Xbox, that has to be enough for you to be like, okay, it's done. Yeah. Like, it's done.
Yep, that is end game right there.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
I also want like some of the ones I have listed here, like Parasite's Eve. I've talked to you about that one many times. I want that to come back. That was always a great franchise. The last one I played, I think was the last game they made, was Third Birthday on the PSP, I believe it was. I don't think it was the Vita. But that game was awesome. It was crazy. It got a lot of hate. I don't know why. I think it was because the controls kind of are trash because it's the PSP and it has one stick. And even now, like I'm playing on some of the PSP games on emulator since my PSP is broken. And yeah, I have a lot of trouble dealing with that. But
yeah,
you kind of just make it work.
That reminds me, another one that I would kill to get back. SOCOM. US Navy SEALs, dude. That was the shit back in the PS2 days.
Yeah, that was a PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yep, it was only on PlayStation 2.
And ever since late PS2, Sony's been saying, "Oh, we want a Halo killer." It's like, well, you have a really good shooter. You have a really good shooter.
They have a few. They have a few. Look at Killzone, dude.
Well, that one they consider a flop, just like Haze. Haze, I never played. It looks weird.
Well, the last Killzone kind of sucked. Yeah,
well, that was trash. That was, I can't even say kinda. That was. I hate that game. Like I've gone back to it 5 or 6 times. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give it a fair shot, and I don't get past that first mission before I'm just like, this is the dumbest thing, the worst game I've ever played in my life.
I am a huge lover of Killzone. I think just it oozes style and dopeness and the gunplay and the camera. It's such a unique kind of shooter. I've never played a shooter quite like the Killzone game, specifically Killzone 2 and 3. But yeah, the last one did suck. Even I could say it sucked. It was pretty. It was real pretty, but it sucked.
Yep. Twas trash. But out of every game series that's ever existed, I mean, I have a couple on here that I'd like Grandia, Wild Arms, Parasite Eve, but if I have any of them come back, it is this one, and it's on that card too. I can't see what I'm looking at. Lufia.
Oh, okay.
This was it. I didn't even know they had. Oh yeah, that's right. They did make the Game Boy Color one. It's not as great as these ones for the Super Nintendo. These games are beautiful little JRPGs. They are fantastic in every way. They definitely need to bring this back. Definitely.
What, did they have anything that set them aside from other JRPGs, or was it just
story
good?
Was great. Gameplay, like the combat was. People today, if they were to go back and play this one on the Super Nintendo, they might find it kind of cumbersome in the battle system because it is turn-based. Your menu's a little weird to work with, but once you get used to it, it's perfect.
Okay.
But I gotta look into this because I'm seeing for some reason Ubisoft, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if that was because of this one. I thought it was always Natsume, but I've never seen a game that looked like this for them either. So maybe I'm missing something.
Is it a Ubisoft game?
No, it's Natsume and Square Enix.
What is Ubisoft? Yeah, there we go. Publisher. Ubisoft published at least one of them.
Yeah, I don't know which one it would have been.
Huh.
Maybe it's this one, whatever one I've never played before, because I don't know what the heck this is. But yeah, there's a lot of puzzle elements in it. It was super heavy for the battle, like the random battles. So people will get turned off by that too. But I don't know. I love these games. The first time I played one, I beat it in about 4 or 5 days, just playing it basically nonstop, and instantly jumped onto the second one. It's they're great. I think the second one comes first, to be honest. I think it's one of those weird ones.
It's always good when a game can pull you in like that. It's rare.
Yeah, all the way back in 1993.
Damn, dude.
And the last one was for the DS, which I'm assuming is that one that's up there that I didn't know.
Do you think they have it on emulator?
Well, I know they have the old ones on emulator, but yeah, I could probably find that one on emulator.
I'm sure you could find the one you haven't played.
Yeah, I'd at least test it out, see what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need that to come back. So bad.
Was it popular, or like is it more of a niche thing, or
I don't know. I honestly didn't find out about it till I was like junior year in high school. Just happened to come across it, and I was like, "What is this? What is Lufia?"
loofah?
And yeah, Lufa. You clean yourself with it. Yeah, I
Dude,
don't even know if Neverland is still around.
Neverland. Did they? What else did they make? I feel like I know of them.
Yeah, they shut down in 2013.
PlayStation 2, Game Boy Color, Rune Factory. Is that why I know about them?
Probably.
Because I know about. I've never played it, but I know about Rune. I mean, you've talked about Rune Factory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love me some Rune Factory. I'm excited for this new one coming out. That is going to be dope.
Dude, I'm excited for the new Monster Hunter. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for the game that everybody seems to love bashing on, which is the new Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I know it's got its issues, but I love the way it looks.
I mean, it looks awesome. Like gameplay
combat.
Wise,
yeah.
Combat and stealth. Like they're adding stuff that's never been in the series before. They're bringing some stuff back into the game that hasn't been in for a couple of games. You got 2 characters. It has seasons, like progression and stuff. It looks really cool and it's really pretty, but the story is. I don't have faith in the story, and I don't have faith in the cultural treatment of the subject. Because I mean, we're talking about we're living in a world where Ghost of Tsushima exists, and that game was like perfect for how it represented Japan and Japanese culture, and even the Japanese loved that game. Like that's the ultimate seal of approval if you make a game about Japan, that the Japanese people love your game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a Japanese studio that made it, so they won the people over. They made a great game. We're now past that point. We're in that world where this exists, and I don't think Ubisoft can do the culture right the way whatever it is, whoever it was that made Ghost of Tsushima did it. I just don't think they'll be able to pull that off, and it's already pissed people off. Like I told you before, they had that Torygate incident where there was like the little Funko Pop looking characters that they have for the game, and the chick is standing or like kneeling on top of a broken Torygate, which is really significant to the Japanese because there was a broken Torygate that was broken because of one of the nukes that fell. I forget if it was Hiroshima or Nagasaki, and like that's very powerful imagery for them, and they just threw that in a little statue, and that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah,
that and playing rap music because a black dude's in it, like
that's not racist at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, that was the biggest thing for me when the combat started and like trap beats start playing. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But I mean, it does match up with Afro Samurai. I can say that much.
Yeah,
which is loosely based on the same guy. So I can see where someone probably along the lines was like, well, yeah, they did it there, so why can't we do it here? Just completely missing the point.
Yeah, it's like, no, you could do that in something like Afro Samurai because it's not trying to be a historical thing. You know what I mean?
And here's something we can both agree with. So what's up, David? But yeah, he says, I liked early Battlefield and COD. It all went south around 2015.
Absolutely agree. Yep. 100%.
So very true.
Dude, I remember I was younger. I was a kid. I forget how old I was, but I found Battlefield 1942 on some like clearance shelf in a Best Buy or something. And it might have been at like a mall or something. I picked it up. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And I fell in love with Battlefield. I liked Call of Duty beforehand, but Battlefield was just so much cooler. And then Battlefield Bad Company and Bad Company 2 came out, and those blew my mind. Man, Bad Company 2 is still one of the best multiplayer shooters I've ever played. And then Battlefield 3 came and just blew that out of the water. And then it started to just die.
Yeah.
And I never got back into it. And like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was peak, Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, all amazing. and then they just fell off. Black Ops 1 and 2 were good too, but yeah, 2015 I'd say was the last year of hope for Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yep. Oh, and there's those conflict games. It's ones that we always bring up.
Yeah, like Conflict Desert Storm, dude. Oh man.
Yep. And Conflict Vietnam, those two games are beautiful.
Dude, I would do anything to see another Conflict game.
Yep.
Oh, Mercenaries.
Yeah, I'm everybody hates Mercenaries too. I don't know why. I don't know. I have no clue. It's the same people who will sit there and say, like, at the time, they were still on GTA 3, I believe. Yep. Saying GTA 3 is so fantastic and amazing. It's like, but we're gonna bash on Mercenaries 2. And it's like, you do realize they basically play the same.
Yeah, except you get to blow more stuff up in Mercenaries.
Yeah. And I love its very cheesy rap song from the commercial, like rap classical, whatever type of song it was. Oh no, you didn't. I love that song. It's so dumb, but it's great.
I will say Mercenaries 1 is my favorite out of the two of them. But Mercenaries 2 was still really good. And I think it was one of the first games where you got to like just blow up whole buildings and stuff. Yeah. Like you could just destroy anything. That was so cool at the time. It's still cool. Like if I had a copy, I'd play it on my PS2. Absolutely.
They should put it on the Switch. It's old enough.
Just put it on everything. Just, do what they did with Freedom Fighters and just let us jump it up to 1080p or 4K or whatever the hell for Switch, and just put it on Switch and put it on consoles and PC, and you'll get a bunch of people buying it for sure.
Yep. All right, what do we got here? You guys remember Call of Duty Nazi Zombies? Yep. Yeah, the original zombies. I don't like zombies, what they turned it into, like with the later games. It's
terrible.
Yeah, it's too much over the top. I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. The old ones were awesome. Like when it first came out, that was a beautiful game mode.
Yeah, World at War Zombies was it was the first one, and it was dope. But for me, the best zombies experience that I had in Call of Duty, or experiences that I've had in Call of Duty, were with Black Ops 1, specifically in the map Kino der Toten, the first one. All the DLC maps are really cool, but me and my buddy, we would do some illegal things and then go and play zombies on Black Ops, and we'd go for days, dude. We'd set up my 360 on the living room TV, and then his 360 on my monitor on the coffee table in the living room. We had wires everywhere. We'd camp out for like 4 or 5 days straight just playing it. That was great.
That makes me think of a game that I used to do that with, Soul Calibur, specifically Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2.
Yeah.
Just because you had that the conquest mode where you can actually play it 2-player, and it was fantastic. It made that game like the best Soul Calibur, and then they just never went back to it, and the games just progressively got worse.
Oh man, dude. I just thought of what I was thinking of earlier. Way of the Samurai.
Yeah.
Way of the Samurai, dude.
Yeah, and Bushido Blade. That's another one.
Yeah. They were so good, dude. I don't know why they stopped making those games.
Because they weren't able to be put into microtransactions and all that.
You could probably microtransaction up Way of the Samurai if you did it today. Have like a bunch of outfits and stuff, and I mean, people would be mad about it, but they could do it if they wanted to be scummy.
Yeah. Yeah, and they would. They absolutely would.
Oh, yeah.
It's vile.
Yeah.
Makes me sad. But yeah, we should talk about another samurai adjacent type thing that we did. Oh wait, hold up. There we go. That's the game. Black Ops 1 Zombies was awesome. Yeah, that's the one I want back. I want them just to continue that kind of method.
Yeah. Like,
so bad.
Kino der Toten had secrets and stuff that was cool. Like I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, with the later maps and then more so with later games, they added like all kinds of crazy stuff that you have to like spin around 3 times in this corner of the map, and then you know hit melee once at this wall at this specific point, and then jump around and shoot 4 things. It's like, come on, bro, just let me kill zombies and find cool stuff.
Yep, absolutely. But let's move on to something samurai adjacent since we got on that topic. There was a short movie we watched, so we watched Marco Polo 100 Eyes. This is a prequel story to the Marco Polo show that Netflix did, which if you haven't seen Marco Polo, it's one of Netflix's better shows. It's pretty awesome. Historical fiction, which is very well done. Since you haven't seen Marco Polo, what did you think of this?
I thought it was dope. Like this made me want to watch the show. I've always been, as an avid history lover, I've always been teetering back and forth with the show. Like I want to watch it, just don't feel like doing it right now. That's kind of been how it's gone for, I don't know, however many years the show's been out. But this was awesome. And it made me want to watch the show, and I'm going to watch the show at some point now. I'm going to say, actually, it might be something to do, maybe at work, maybe not, legal reasons. I may or may not watch while working. No, it's just I'm definitely gonna watch it soon. This was cool.
Yeah, it's a dope little story, and they have good actors. The guy who plays 100 Eyes is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what is his name? I can't remember it. Tom Wu,
which is probably not his name, but
yeah. It's a fantastic introduction to what you're going to be seeing in the show, which is strange because this came out like I think after the show stopped airing.
I think so, yeah.
But it really sets a important character into perspective for what you go into, because later on in the show, slight spoiler, he trains Marco Polo.
Yeah.
And seeing him train, like he was meant to do that. He is a master of martial arts. He's a fantastic blindfolded fighter.
Yeah. Permanently.
Like, yeah. He is. It is dope. It's a great little action film, and it's not like overwhelming because it's only 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be bored to death. There's really no slow parts in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was a Taoist.
Yeah.
Like so I know about the story of Marco Polo and everything, but like I don't know the specifics of it. But yeah, I thought they were just going to do some like Shaolin type stuff or something. But they even pointed that out, that he's not like the other monks because he's a Taoist, which is spelled D, with a D or a T. Figured that out actually, but pronounced the same way. But I find that really interesting because Taoism, I went down kind of a little Taoist rabbit hole after watching this, and it's a very interesting. It is a religion. It's more of a religion than like Buddhism or anything. But I think that's cool. I want to explore his character more. So this made me, it's dope enough that it's a cool contained story. It's both like intriguing and kind of brutal in its own way. And it gets you to want to watch the show. So
yeah. Yeah. And if anybody's not familiar with Marco Polo, he was a explorer, adventurer who went out with his father. He ends up getting basically captured by Kublai Khan, and goes on a full adventure from there. Like, it's a very, very interesting story. I believe there's books on it too. There should be. It's not just a game you play in the water where you can't see and keep calling out Marco. I mean, if that's what it was based on, that would be a very, very long, slow show.
They pan up, showing a pool. There's 2 kids in the pool.
Marco.
12 seasons. It'd still be better than the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Which we should have talked about that as a franchise that was forgotten, because it was. I mean, I don't care. Everybody can say like, oh, he's still working on the book. Is he?
He's never going to finish it.
Yeah.
He's never going to finish that book. So what's going to happen is he's going to die, and his estate is going to give the rights to some better author because he's a terrible author. I will stand by that till the end of time. Like, he wrote good books. The dialogue is good and everything like that. But he is a terrible author in terms of the practice of being an author. He's going to die. The state is going to pass it off to someone who's competent, and they're going to finish it. And hopefully it'll be good at that point.
Yeah.
But it is forgotten.
People who wrote the show. Because the way they ended it was terrible.
Dude, they don't deserve to have anything after what they did.
Yep. But yeah, so what rating do you give this? Because it got pretty good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, decent on IMDb. I don't know why Google users didn't like this one. That was kind of shocking.
The dumbs. No, I would give this like a solid 9. I love the time period. I love all the cons and like learning about the different cons. I love the story of Marco Polo, and this character in particular is just awesome. Like, everything about him is awesome. So I'd give it a 9. But and I love him too. The Benedict Wong.
Yep, especially since he's in Doctor Strange, plays his home.
Yeah. Well, he's like the Asian guy in everything.
Yeah, he's great.
I love him. But what would you give it?
Yeah, I give it a 9. It's one of the and it being short, I think, also adds to its credentials, like its score, because it's not overwhelming like a lot of movies can be. It's not going to take up all your time. It tells its story, what it needs to tell, and then it leads up to a show. Yeah,
like it almost feels like the way it was written, the way it was shot, the story and everything, and its length made me wish it was actually longer. But if it was longer, I don't know if I would have liked it as much. It's kind of like this. It was so good, I want more,
Yeah. Ooh, Tom Wu's back catalog has some horrible movies in it.
Yeah, anything with him is or with what's his face, Steven Seagal, is horrible.
Yeah, he was in Mutant Chronicles.
Whoa, who did he play in that? I
totally missed him. Yeah, let's see. Since we just watched that.
Yeah. Corporal Juba something.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. How long was the show? The show went on for,
I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, it looks like 2. Could be 3. Who knows?
Did they wrap it up or did they kill it?
I believe they killed it because it's 2 seasons. It's Netflix we're talking about. Man, why would they end anything? Which, did you hear The Boys is ending?
Yeah, actually, they planned that though.
Did you hear why they planned it to end at season 5?
No.
Okay, let's get this pulled up really quick. Let me get rid of this till I find the article.
I thought that was always the plan.
Yeah, well, it's a plan, but there's a reason the creator gave for it, why he's ending it. And it's just stupid. Basically, it's 3 and 5 are magical numbers. Comedy is done in 3s and 5s. And might as well have it end on a magical ending and try to wrap it up. Plus, the side story is Homelander was getting too political, too politically obvious. Because of things he did. Because if anybody doesn't know the story, basically they come out and link things that happened with a previous president and Homelander. Like, there's things they both did in common. They both did a coup and all this other stuff. And it's
like,
it's got very political. I mean, I don't mind it, but some people might.
Dude, if you watch the first, let's say like 30 minutes of the first episode of The Boys and don't walk away saying, wow, that was very political, I don't know what show you're watching.
Well, we both seen that there's a lot of people online who are just like, When did this get political? It's like before it aired.
Like, bro, I don't know what you're watching at that point. So yeah, Homelander got political because the whole show has been political. It's been like very, very loud spoken about like Christianity, about religion as a whole, about politics, about both sides in politics, not just one.
Yeah.
Like it's about like about corporations, about corporate greed, about the economy. The show has made a bold statements about everything since the start. So that's dumb, dude.
Yeah, international government political nonsense too.
Yeah. Yep. War, the Middle East.
Yep. Yep, it is crazy. But yeah, I didn't like the creator's response. I was like, well, that's dumb. And then he finished up with the whole like political thing. I was like, okay, there you go. There's your actual point for like, this is why we're wrapping up suddenly. And we're wrapping up the story, luckily, but we're cutting it now because we realize we might die.
Man,
that's what I got from it.
It sucks. Our political satire show got too political. Now we have to stop it.
Yeah. I guess Saturday Night Live needs to go too.
Well, Saturday Night Live has sucked for a long time. The only thing that I think is good about SNL at this point is the news segment.
Yeah, Weekend Update. It is the best. Those two are fantastic.
Yeah,
they're hilarious.
That's the last shred of old SNL.
I mean, the best moment ever in SNL history was Ashley Simpson.
Yeah.
That was great. Just destroyed her career because, wrong song was playing while she was lip syncing.
Oops.
Yep. It happens.
It does. It actually does happen kind of often.
Yeah. All right. So in private chat, I sent you the link for the SCP. But before because I'm going to have you read that because I'm going to read another thing, which is something we've been looking for a while. And I figured it would be a good time to finally maybe go over it. So here we go. We have the explanation for the classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the primary classes for all the rankings that all these things get. So first we have safe. Safe class SCPs are anomalies that are easily and safely contained. This is often due to the fact the Foundation has researched the SCP well enough that containment does not require significant resources, or that the anomalies require a specific condition or continuous activation or trigger. Classifying SCP as safe, however, does not mean handling or activating it does not pose a threat.
Okay.
We have Euclid class. These SCPs are anomalies that require more resources to contain completely, or where containment isn't always reliable. Usually this is because the SCP is insufficiently understood or inherently unpredictable. Euclid is an objective class with the greatest scope, and it's usually a safe bet that the SCP will be in this class if it doesn't easily fall into any of the other standard objective classes. As a note, any SCP that is autonomous or sapient is generally classified as Euclid, due to the inherent unpredictability of an object that can think of its own.
Okay.
We have Keter, whatever it is. These SCPs are Keister. These anomalies are anomalies that are exceedingly difficult to contain consistently or reliably, with containment procedures often being extensive and complex. The Foundation often can't contain these SCPs well due to not having a solid understanding of the anomaly or lacking the technology to properly contain or counter it. A Keister SCP does not mean the SCP is dangerous. It is simply that it's very difficult or costly to contain.
A pain in the keister.
And now we're going to get some words that I'm probably just going to butcher. Probably not going to try. We have Thaumiel. Yeah. We have Samuel class. These SCPs are anomalies that the Foundation specifically uses to contain other SCPs. Even the mere existence of this class is classified at the highest levels of the Foundation, and their locations, functions, and current status are known to few Foundation personnel outside of the O5 Council. I think that's a O, not a 0.
Yeah, it is
Who
an
knows?
O, I think.
We have Apollyon.
Apollyon.
These are anomalies that cannot be contained, are expected to breach containment imminently, or some other similar scenario. Such anomalies are usually associated with world-ending threats or K-class scenario of some kind that require a massive effort from the Foundation to deal with. We have, God, that next word is going to be a disaster.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wait,
Archon.
I got that. Yeah. Archon. So it's Archon and Ticonderoga. That's it.
Ticonderoga. All right.
There was a fort in the Revolution called Ticonderoga and a brand of pencils.
Awesome. These are anomalies that could theoretically be contained, but are best left uncontained for some reason. These SCPs may be part of a consensus reality that is difficult or difficult to fully contain, or may have adverse effects if put into containment. These SCPs are not uncontainable. The defining feature of this class is that the Foundation chooses not to put the anomaly in containment. Which that's kind of scary if they're choosing not to. I don't know why.
Well, it's like, for me, it's like, maybe it's the way they wrote that. Like, it could be something that it's really dangerous as it is, but if you put it away, it could like destroy the universe.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Okay. This will be the last one I need to read. So, Ticonderoga. This cannot be contained, but also do not need to be contained. While these anomalies are to the Archon class, in that their containment is unnecessary, Ticonderoga are distinguished by also not being containable given the Foundation's current knowledge or resources. This may be due to their widespread or ubiquitous occurrence on Earth. Despite the general public remaining unaware of their existence or anomalous nature, although the Ticonderoga class also includes extraterrestrial anomalies beyond the current reach of the Foundation.
Yeah, does the SCP Foundation have spaceships?
I don't believe so. At least we haven't come across anything that requires them to go to space.
How do they not have spaceships, dude? They've got interdimensional travel. I know that one, but they don't have spaceships.
Yep.
God.
It happens.
I guess so. Let me pull this up here. Let's do a little share. Got to share the screen. Just let me know if you could see it.
Let me go big. Zoom in just a little bit.
How do I do that again? Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, the 3 dots on the top of the browser.
Oh, wait. There we go. Where is it? Oh, yeah.
Right above favorites. 4th option.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this one's laid out a little different. Does it? I don't see an SCP number here.
I know it's a little weird. SCP numbers at the top though. Oh, you can't see it. It's 8787.
Did it like
Here you go
away?
It's on your tab thing.
Okay. All right. 87. Okay. 8070. All right. So, head archivist Sage. This is everything we found so far pertaining to case 2022-002 per acting director Leah Lee. I don't know. How would you pronounce that?
Lay? Yeah.
Lee? Whatever. We aren't getting
Director L.
Director L. There we go. We aren't getting any non-anomalous law enforcement involved, including the SPPD, whatever that is, mostly for the safety of the missing person. Cops react badly to normal runaway cases. Imagine if they drew their gun on a type blue. Do we know what a type blue is?
No, I couldn't find anything for typing. That's why I started pulling up the class thing.
Of course not, dude. They just throw these things at you.
Yep.
I didn't think that she'd just do that. She loved this place more than anything. Reynolds is heartbroken, but we're making sure he and his kid get the best care they can. I'm going to say Lay. Lay won't let you file this under priority alpha, but she was basically everyone's friend here before she broke down. At the very least, make it priority gamma. Also enclosed are a few copies of the most current missing person's poster for her. Everyone around 87 knows her, but you have family in the Upper Peninsula, and we think she may have headed there. If you could maybe get a few of them up in that direction, that would be appreciated. Colonel Malcolm Gillard G. Malcolm G. Department Head, Investigations and Retrieval, Site 87.
And then, real quick note, I had to look it up. It's Lee because Rachel Lee Cook.
Lee. Okay, Lee. Is there a place I should start, or just up at the top?
You can start anywhere.
Wait, right here. I got it. Right here. We've got a description of it here. God, so, yes, it's way down. So it's SCP-8787, Object Class, Bari Star Galactic 3-cup espresso and latte machine. We didn't cover that one. Specifications for cheap patching. One of the milk steaming wands just doesn't work. Don't bother trying to repair it. One, is the boiler working? Check that first. It's just instructions for a boiler. Okay. SCP-8787 is the serial number of the Bari Star Galactic 3-cup espresso and latte machine in Sid's Coffee Place, the best place to get coffee in Philadelphia. Oh, Philadelphia. Manufactured in 1995, SCP-8787 includes the following deluxe features: 15-liter boiler, 1 hot water outlet, 2 milk steaming wands, leftmost is non-functional, stainless steel body, gas heating system, electric cup warmer, and a lifetime warranty. Am I selling something, or is this an SCP? What the hell?
Oh, that is great.
Okay. SCP-8787 has been serving Sid's Coffee Place since its founding in 2022 and serves almost 200 gallons of our finest brew every week. Let's go back up to this missing person case. How does this
go up above it. There's a 911 call above it.
Above the poster?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
okay.
start.
Okay.
Here you go.
Should I start at the 911 call or start here?
I would just go to the 911 call. It's going to be long enough as it is.
Okay. All right. So 911 call, 11:35 p.m., August 30th, 2022. Dispatch, Douglas County 911. Do you require police, fire, or ambulance? Caller, ambulance. I crashed my car. Dispatch, ma'am, are you hurt? Caller, my friend left, or my left hand, my friend. Yeah, my friend's left hand. No, my left hand. Well, if they're sitting in the passenger seat, the steering wheel got torn out of it. I can't feel it. Ow. Ma'am, do you see a mile marker? Any indication of where you are? I think I was driving down Bray Road out of Sloth's Pit. Fucking deer came in front of the car and, oh God, I'm in the woods. What's the make and model of your car, ma'am? It's a Volvo, red. No, burgundy, station wagon. It before the turn of the century. Okay, I think I can walk. Ma'am, stay close to the car. I can't. I lost my damn eye. Your eye? It's fake. Wait, what's that? Ma'am, do not leave the vicinity of your car. There are dangerous animals in the woods surrounding Sloth's Pit. God, dangerous animals is the excuse we gave you? I think it might be someone from work. Hello, are you? What the hell are you? Ma'am, do not leave the area. What the fuck is... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Ma'am, stay on the line. Ma'am? God damn it. Dispatch notes code SP87 Bray Road and Woods in your Sloth's Pit. Need ambulance, police, cleaners. And it says, head archivist note, aside from a piece of plastic that may have been part of the front left headlight, no trace of Dr. Sinclair or her vehicle were discovered by either Foundation or civilian forces. And here's a missing poster for Sinclair. Why did they shopped her right green eye?
Yeah, because
They
it's a fake
shopped
eye.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. That makes it. No, I'm stupid. Date of birth, 82, 43 years old, female, white, red hair, green eyes, teal left because the fake one. Or no, sorry, green right because the fake one. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. So the teal one is the dark one.
Yeah. 5'7", 240 estimated pounds, distinguished marks, left eye is plastic prosthetic, burn scars on both forearms from laboratory incident. Last seen heading northbound out of Douglas County, Wisconsin, driving a 1995 Burgundy Volvo station wagon with Wisconsin plates. Title expiry January 2023. If you have the information, call Hibbity Hoppity Hoo, Sloth's Pit. And here's a coffee shop. What does this
There's more
have
to the
to
story
do?
here. There's more to the story. This ties it in.
This thing.
Yeah. That's why I was saying don't start too high because a lot goes into it. Apparently, I started scrolling through while you were talking.
Okay, so let's tie this together. Bleeding and bleary, the woman went to the first line she saw in the distance. I'm stroking out. She knew she was in pain, but she knew that she had been in worse. Her legs still worked. She could flex all her no, that was a lie. Her left hand made an unnatural popping noise when she tried flexing the thumb. The steering wheel had been wrenched from her hand when she crashed, and at the very least, it was sprained. She had swerved to miss a deer in the middle of the road. Idiot. She knew that she should have just plowed through Bambi, but she wasn't thinking straight. That's terrible. That'll wreck your car, by the way. That'll kill you. She had been driving for 6, 8, 10 hours. When had she seen the sunset? Where was she? The building came into focus. It was a diner? No, it was a coffee shop. It looked like it had been ripped out of the center of Main Street back home, but it was just sitting here on the side of the highway. She couldn't make out the sign through the rain and her tears, and the fact that she only had one eye didn't help matters either. She shoved open the door. Here's the presumed coffee shop. Except it's right there in a city, it looks like. Kat, you're late. Catherine Sinclair blinked as she walked through the door of Sid's coffee place. It was mid-morning. Her apron was on backwards, and there was a line. She blinked at her boss, Sidney Charmer, as if she didn't know what was happening. After a moment, her brain fog lifted. It always happened when when she was late to a shift. Everything about the day got discombobulated. There's a word for you. Sorry, she said, getting behind the counter. Car blew up on me and I had to take the metro. Couldn't have called, Sid grimaced, eyebrows knitting together under their green hair. Out of minutes for the month. Okay. Like off minutes or phone minutes. That's it. Phone minutes.
Yeah.
Out of minutes for the month. Sydney shook her head. Well, the Bari star's on the fritz, and you're a wizard when it comes to fixing this thing. It's been house blend only for the last half hour. On it, boss. Kat went into the back closet and got her hair in a net and got out some tools. She found the manual for the Bari star easily enough. Sydney had written it themselves. I guess Sydney is a they/them person.
Yeah.
Sydney had written it themselves. Whatever. And it just makes for weird reading sometimes. And though she had read it hundreds of times, thought it was a good idea to get a refresher. Okay.
So if you don't get what's going on there, she's not a barista. This is Catherine Sinclair, PhD, department head of Thaumatology and Occult Studies at Site 87.
Yeah, and she just walks into this barista.
Yeah, after she was on the phone with the cops.
And she disappeared.
Yep.
So this
she
barista,
just happened to bloop from Wisconsin all the way to Philly. Right
barista,
outside the shop.
Yeah, so the shop is in Philly. It didn't come to her or materialize or anything?
Nope, she materialized there. But she thinks it just appeared there on the side of the highway because that's where she last was.
Okay.
And it has something to do with the Brie Star.
The coffee maker.
Yeah.
So it didn't give us a class. It said, what is it? Baristar Galactic
It's its own
Compass
thing.
Press.
Yeah, it's unique. But her story goes on for decades. I'm not going to say read all that.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
There's a whole nother story after that. But yeah, this is one for people to go and check out. There's, I don't know if you see a little scroller thing on the side of your window, but it is long.
Here, let's go through all of this here. Still going.
Yeah.
Past halfway. And that's the end. Whoa. Whoa. What were those advertisements?
I have no clue. Wasn't looking.
It looked like it was some inappropriate stuff.
Oh, good.
Inappropriate for YouTube anyway. No, not porn. It was just it looked like underwear.
Sure.
Oh,
You're on Temu?
I don't know. Where am I on? No, I don't use Temu.
Dude, Temu. If you ever like search something on Temu, every pop-up ad like that is going to be Temu. And it's going to be the worst products you could think of. Things you're not even looking up on Temu.
Oh wait, no,
like
it's Sabrina Carpenter
adult
tickets.
Toys and stuff like that. It's terrible. It is bad. I was at work one day and like I'm looking up something for a customer and all of a sudden I look at the side and I'm like, oh my God, like let's just close this. Let's get off this.
Isn't Temu one of those like Chinese shops that sells all the
Wish.com. It's like a new Wish.
Dude, I can't. I'm too American to use Temu, man.
Yeah.
No, but it looks like it's what is it? Sabrina Carpenter tickets, but one of the pictures was her in like underwear.
Yeah, well, as they say, sex sells.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
Quick. She got big quick. Like she's on I don't know if she's quite Taylor Swift level, but she's the biggest thing in music right now.
I think I saw a YouTube short with her in it, and she was talking to some girl about her mom cheating on her, or her mom having sex with her boyfriend or some dumb stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who this chick is.
Nice. Lovely family fun time.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. But yeah, so that is what we had this week. Very interesting SCP. Definitely go check it out. 8787. But yeah. So besides that, we have videos that we posted this past week. We have new ones coming out this week, as always, every Monday and Thursday. Go ahead and give them a check out. I'm surprised. I also did for sports fans. I did a one on the A's the other day because their whole like moving from the stadium. I should have waited because there's been a lot that happened after that. Because they had their last 3 games this past week. One of the days, the groundskeeper actually went around and was like digging holes in the field to like give people dirt to take home and whatever they could carry it in, just so they had something from the stadium. The last game, I think it was the last game, fans were just ripping the seats out of the concrete to take home.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, they want someone from the stadium, and they're also very mad because they're in a bad situation. But yeah, go check out that video. I'm surprised it got as many views as it did since we're not a sports channel. But yeah. But yeah, check out our videos. We have more coming up. I think I'm doing the Monday one, right?
No, I think I got the Monday one. Because I just did this last Thursday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm doing Thursday then.
Yeah, so you're doing Thursday. I'm doing Monday. I think I'm going to do a Warhammer 40K video game tier list, or list video at least, because I just finished Space Marine 2 because they fixed the CPU heating issue. They fixed it before Capcom fixed Dragon's Dogma 2. But they fixed the issue, and holy God, dude, it's so good. It's so good. There were moments that I laughed with childish glee seeing what was happening on the screen. It was incredible. So I love 40K. I want to do some 40K. 40K. 40K.
I want to do some 40K.
Want to do some 40K. I want to do a list with 40K video games. 40K, dude.
Yeah. Freudian slip.
Oh man, yep, you know it. It's not gay, bro.
Yeah, just dominance.
I just love oiled up dudes fighting each other, man. Barehanded.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Talk about that game, Ghost of Wokia or Woki.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Wokai.
Yeah, like Wokai. People are ridiculous. People are so ridiculous.
I don't want to play as a woman, dude. I want to play as an oiled up dude, and I want to see his butt 400 times like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I have to play as a woman?
Liking women is gay, bro.
Yep. Yeah, Andrew Tate said it himself. Or no, it wasn't Andrew Tate. It was no, he did say it. They both said it though. Yeah, Andrew Tate was a lot more detailed.
Yeah, dude, having sex with a woman is gay. Okay.
Yep.
It's gay.
Yeah. And the fact that I don't just makes me more of a straight man. Like, you're ridiculous, dude. You are ridiculous.
Yeah, the guy who says he's not a nerd yet knows a suspicious amount about Star Trek lore.
Yeah.
Like he knew, okay, so if someone says they're not a nerd, but then goes on to talk about the fact that the Borg, when you're fighting the Borg, you have to modulate your phaser frequency to get through their shielding. Are you going to believe that they're not a nerd?
Absolutely. They've never heard of Star Trek.
Like, dude, you could hear of Star Trek, but you're never going to know about that unless you're a Star Trek nerd, which is fine. I'm a Star Trek nerd. But don't say you're not a nerd if you know about, like, phaser modulation to get through Borg shielding, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something that's just, like, common, known pop culture stuff.
No.
Yeah. But yeah. So back on the topic, check out our videos. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So you guys all take care.
Stay safe.